looks like I'm out of continues. Sorry I couldn't have been more help to you guys.
Semper Fi. Sit down, fool.
Alright guys, Bobby87 King here, and today we are going to be going for the top 10 best characters in Total Drama Revenge of the Island, which is the second generation of Total Drama, and one that I think a lot of people don't really talk enough about how great this cast is, where there's people like Mike, Zoe, Cameron, Lightning, Scott, all notable figures, even though I don't really like Zoe, or Stacy really, but other than that, this cast is really great, with some underrated characters like B, Brick. I know Brick isn't underrated, but like he doesn't come back for All Stars, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I think he could have been used more, but whatever. And also Dawn, who also is overrated, but you know, yeah, there's that. I think this cast is honestly really great, so let's just get on to it with the top 10. And coming in at number 10, we have a character who barely spoke, and it's B. And to be honest, I really do like B's character, honestly. I think he's a character who has potential. He's not necessarily an all-star, and I don't think he should have came back for that season. But maybe if you're having like an underdog type season, you could bring him back. But overall in this season, I like the fact that there was a character who didn't speak, because I think that's kind of unique, especially when Total Drama is a show that likes to have a lot of stereotypes. I think they're the stereotypical kid in class who just doesn't talk. So yeah, B's on the list. He's pretty cool. I wish him and Dawn had more scenes together, because I kind of like their friendship, but that's something I don't think we'll ever see, because I don't think they're bringing B or Dawn back, since Dawn wasn't even brought back for Total Drama Rama. So yeah. Coming in at number 9, we have a character who gets hate for almost no reason, and it's Sam. I still don't get the hate around Sam. Is he an all-star? If you're picking 7 people from the Revenge of the Island cast, I think he's one of the people you should pick. But also, he's a character in Revenge of the Island who was very prominent. I still don't get how he gets so much hate. Should Brick return since he's more of a fan favorite? Yes, but he's still a pretty cool character in this season. I like the fact that he was addicted to video games, and like the Mario Kart reference was pretty cool. Because, you know, yeah, or Donkey Kong. Is it I think it's Donkey Kong. I don't know. I don't really play Mario like that. But, yeah, Sam was just a really cool character. I loved him in Dakota. It's one of my favorite ships, because it's one of the least toxic ships. Unlike the Generation 1, which a lot of the ships there were toxic. Like, the only non-toxic ship, in my opinion, is Alejandro and Heather. But, yeah, Sam and Dakota were pretty great together. And obviously, Sam is this low on the list because, honestly, I just didn't really find him that funny when I rewatched it. Obviously, if I did this list before I rewatched Revenge, it would probably be number 8 or 7, but he's here at number 9. He was a pretty great character, loved him. He's here at number 9. Alright, coming in at number 8, we have a character who did quit the game, unfortunately, and it's Maria. Again, I was really shocked on my rewatch of how much I loved Maria. Maria is probably one of my favorite, like, one-time characters in Total Drama, just because I love the love triangle between her, Vito, and Zoe. Mike / Vito, but you guys know what I mean. I do actually ship Maria and Vito, and I think that it would have been a more interesting storyline if they explored it, because maybe Maria thinks that did Maria know that Mike has multiple personality disorder? Because like I don't know, maybe Maria just thought Mike had 2 sides to him, and she would be half right if that is true, because then she'd probably tell Zoe, being like, hey, Mike probably just has 2 sides, maybe one just has me and one just has you guys can share. I don't know what I'm even saying, to be honest, but yeah, I really do like Maria's character. I also like her rivalry with Joe. I think that was pretty fun to watch, because, you know, I don't even think Maria is really weakest. It's definitely Cameron physically, but, you know, the rivalry is pretty fun, add more complexity to Joe's character. So yeah, honestly, I have nothing but positive things to say about Maria. That's why she is at number 8. Alright, coming in at number 7, we have another character who grew on me during the rewatch. It's Dakota. And I think Dakota is a better version of Lindsay. And I will say that. I do think Dakota is a better character than Lindsay. I like her more. I think that she was not really more interesting, because Lindsay in action exists, so, you know, she can't be more interesting. But I think that Dakota had more potential to be more explored, instead of like having a really bad conclusion to her. I was gonna say good, because she could get with Sam, but like I think you could have just wrote her and Sam getting together anyways, because, you know, they're one of the best. They are the best ship in the second generation. Sorry to say it to all the Mike and Zoe fans, but it's true. But having her turn into a monster was just completely unnecessary, and it's just, I don't know why they think people like when they do this, like when they did that to Zeke, when they did that to Dakota, when they have Alejandro and Scott get like really beaten up for almost no good reason, except for, I guess, the audience like shock or like them laughing. I really don't know. But I really did enjoy Dakota's like phone withdrawal. I think that her and Dawn could have been nice. Not really a nice duo, but like kind of like a comedic duo where Dawn just points out all of like Dakota's flaws, and then I don't know, that would have been fun to watch. But yeah, I really did enjoy Dakota. I think that her kind of being like Chris's intern for the season was also pretty fun, because we don't really see that much. I mean, we saw that with action, but I think that's just more or less kind of cheating. At least with Dakota, it wasn't really that cheating, because she was on the show, then off the show, then on the show, then off the show. So yeah, I really did enjoy Dakota's character. Completely robbed on being on All Stars, to be honest. I think that low-key she should have been on All Stars, especially if you're pulling people from Revenge of the Island, because it could have been nice to see her and Sam be a duo, completely run the game. I'm just joking, obviously. I don't really need to see them run the game. I think they're characters who are completely fine without them going far, but yeah. Dakota is at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have the final character who didn't make the merge, and it's Brick MacArthur. Brick is one of my favorite one-time players in Total Drama, and it's not even close. I think that he's just really enjoyable to watch because he's so rootable in a way, but like he's also a character who I would be fine with if they never win a season. But I think Brick this season was just so great, and I also think he should have been an All-Stars. I don't know why they decided to cut him and Maria, Cody, and Owen. I mean, I understand Cody and Owen, but I don't know why they cut the Maria and him, because I think they would have been a fun dynamic on All-Stars, because I think they're interesting enough personalities. I think that you can do so much with their characters, because Brick is someone who has the potential to really go far in Total Drama. Like, he's a nice guy. I think everyone would want to keep him around because he's also good in challenges, but also someone who does fall back on his morals. So it would have been fun to see a character like that, especially when Total Drama isn't really a show that focuses too much on strategy. I think it just would have been a fun dynamic to see the moral dilemmas with the gameplay of Total Drama. So yeah, I think that was kind of a missed potential storyline or something like that. I also enjoyed Brick's rivalry with Joe a lot. I think that we needed to see that on All Stars, even though Joe is on the list, obviously, but I don't really care for Joe that much. But I love their dynamic together. I do like Joe. I don't know why I said that, but I like Brick more overall, but I like Joe more in the season, if that makes sense. But overall, Brick was just an amazing character. I think that him getting hurt was always pretty funny, because like he was kind of like Tyler, Trent, Devin, all these characters who get hurt a lot, but I think he does it the best because he is like this military guy. So yeah, Brick was pretty amazing all around. Should have been on All Stars. What a legend. Yeah, he is at number 6. Coming in at number 5, I mean, I kind of already spoiled it a lot, but you know what, I'm just gonna say it, it's Joe. I enjoyed Joe's character a lot, because if you know, I already do enjoy Eva a lot, so Joe was no different. I think that Joe was kind of a contestant who did push your teammates a lot. I mean, they were the two darker contestants in Cameron and Maria, but you know, we move. And also, I think that Joe dynamic with Brick was really fun to watch. Also, her and Lightning was such a really funny bit. I thought it would get old on like a rewatch, like since I rewatched the show a lot, but it never gets old, especially the scene in the cave where Joe's like, I've never kissed a guy, and Lightning thinks she's a guy, so then Lightning's like, don't worry, Lightning, don't judge. And yeah, that always makes me laugh. But overall, Joe is a really fun character. I loved her dynamic with also, yeah, her and Zoe, I forgot to mention that too. I think that it could have been a nice friendship to explore, especially since Joe is a character who doesn't really have any friends, actually. I mean, it could have been cool to see her and Brick become friends, but I like them as frenemies more. But, you know, yeah, there's that. Joe is at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have the runner-up in my headcanon. It's Lightning. First of all, I would like to praise Fresh for having a black final 2. You know, that's something that took Survivor and Big Brother a long time to happen. So yeah, there's that. I also think that Lightning being a pro ally is something that's very cool. I do respect that. But other than that, let's just get to his actual character. I think Lightning was really funny this season, and I think that he's one of the only anti-heroes who are actually really just there to be like, he's like a villain in a way because he really is competitive to win, like we saw in Revenge of the Island, especially when he was so mad that Cameron beat him in that one challenge, and then he fights tooth and nail to make sure Cameron loses. Obviously he does end up failing in Canada, which is where I'm from, so I got to see that happen, which was pretty fun to watch because I liked Cameron a lot more. But that doesn't mean I disliked Lightning. Okay, I did in the first watch, but then on the rewatch, Lightning finally like started to click with me because I was only really focused on Cameron, Mike, and Zoe when I first watched the show. But now, obviously, as my like opinions change over time, I started to like fully watch for all the characters because I'm doing this top 10. So yeah, Lightning overall was a great character, and I think he was a pretty fun finalist. Do I need to see him come back? Personally, no, but I wouldn't mind it. He is at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we actually have my third favorite antagonist of the show, and it's actually Scott. Scott's strategy gets so much hate, and I never really understand it because it's kind of like the Matt Sainz strategy in Survivor Philippines, where if you continue to just lose challenges at the merge, people will view you less as a threat because guess what? You've been on a team that lost so much time, so you're lessening your chances at winning challenges, obviously, like individual challenges. And also the fact that, he was able to make fake idols and a lot of stuff like that, kind of like, I'm trying to think about a Survivor reference. There's a lot of people make fake idols, but like, I'm trying to find a certain one. Bob Crowley in Survivor Gabon, he made he made 2 fake idols, and Scott made a lot of fake idols too, just to like throw off the scent of like, just to make sure people stop looking for it because they'll be like, oh, I have the idol. And yeah, I think strategy wise, Scott's one of the best strategic thinkers of the entire show, and I think that showed a lot throughout the season. I did not enjoy him using Mike's illness as a strategy, however, even though it is really smart of how he was able to get that information from Cameron. It's just really gross to watch, especially when I first watched this as a kid. I hated Scott for that. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy Scott that much on the rewatch, but it's really just his strategy that carries him to be at number 3. He's, at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have the winner of the season. It's Cameron. I don't think there was a more satisfying win for me when I first watched the show live than Cameron's, because I enjoyed seeing like the underdog rise to the top, him being like slammed to the walls by Joe, him being pretty much called out a lot for the season for being so weak, even being lighter than a doll, which, do we know how much Cameron weighs? Because I really need to know this just to see, because like I know a doll doesn't weigh that much, so I don't know what to say about that. But Cameron is just honestly one of my favorite characters. I love the fact that he's so smart into building like a robot suit out of like a bunch of scrap, which is something you have to praise him for. It's basically an Iron Man suit, and that finale was crazy all because of that. I enjoyed seeing the finale. It's probably my favorite finale of all the Total Drama seasons, just because of how visually aesthetic it was. So yeah, overall Cameron's character was really fun to watch. He also brought a lot of humor to the show with his interactions with Maria, his friendship with Mike, not his friendship with Zoe, because Zoe sucks and she's not going to be on the list. And I'll actually make a video like detailing why I hate Zoe so much, and like why she is probably one of the worst main characters of the show, like second worst if you're counting Courtney too. But yeah, overall I did enjoy Cameron's character a lot. Not much to say about him. He's here at number 2. Come on guys, coming in at number 1, this shouldn't be really a surprise at all, especially if you watch Run the Island. It's Stacy!
And I know Stacy really gets a lot of hate, but if you really watch the show,
I'm actually just playing. It's Mike. And Mike was my favorite character as a kid. Like, in general, actually, Mike was my favorite character just from watching Revenge of the Island. He was my favorite, just because I really liked his story of having multiple personalities disorder. It's something that we never really see in Total Drama, and low-key is something that I hope we never really see again, especially after seeing what happened in All Stars and seeing how Fresh TV really did handle that. So yeah, there's that. But overall, Mike in this season was really relatable. I loved his I forgot what they're called now because I've been watching too much reality TV. couples. I really love Mike and Zoe as a couple. They're one of my favorite couples in total drama. Even though I hate Zoe, you have to respect the ship. Even though they're my second favorite ship in this generation. Third if you're counting Maria and Vito. But overall, Mike's character this season was really incredible. I think that he was really well written. And I love the fact that he doesn't end up winning the season. Because I really thought he was going to win the season. Make it past. Because I thought, you know, this episode would kind of be like Scott's downfall. Maybe not Scott's downfall would have been like Lightning or Joe going home, but like one of, you know, he survives the abuse that Scott put him through, because that episode was insanely hard to watch, and it made it even worse because Mike goes home in that episode. So yeah, I was definitely shocked and I was definitely pissed when Mike was voted out. Even though I know I'll backtrack on this statement. I did enjoy seeing Scott get beaten up, because that's what he gets for pretty much using a person with a disorder against like his own being. Or I don't know if I word that correctly, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. Like, he pretty much used Mike's disability for an advantage in the game. And I think that Mike honestly is just such a really fun character to watch, especially in this season. If you say you didn't like Mike in Revenge of the Island, I do not believe you. So yeah, Mike is at number 1, not even close. And yeah, that's pretty much the top 10. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. That really does mean a lot to me. And I hope that we can, you know, grow more. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about the channel. And I really did, about like the top 10 and stuff, I really did enjoy this top 10. I really did enjoy making it, unlike the last video with World Tour, because after realizing I don't really think I like World Tour that much. Like, I don't think it's in my top 2. I think this season is much better just because of the characters. And I watched Total Drama purely for the characters. So yeah, I think that the characterization this season was much better than in World Tour, because in World Tour the only characters who you really feel like you're supposed to like are Heather, Cody, who I didn't like, Sierra, who I hated, and I guess Alejandro, but he's more or less an antagonist, and I don't think Total Drama wants you to root for the antagonist. At least with Revenge of the Island, you can root for so much people and not feel guilty, unless you rooted for Scott. Then I think you're pure evil. But yeah, overall, I think this is a season that handles 13 episodes the best. Obviously, the new season will have 13 episodes too. We'll see how they do with that, but honestly, I think this season takes the cake of how to write a season with 13 episodes and make it feel really good. Obviously, Dawn didn't make the list, and I think Dawn's great, but when you compare her to the rest of the cast, does she really hold up? She's definitely number 11, but I don't think she deserved to be in top 10. But yeah, that's pretty much all the video, and that's pretty much all I had to say. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. Hope you guys have a great day.
Camera on, Pappy? Okay, good.